Let's see, am I alive? Am I alive? Let's see, am I? Alright, I am. Hey guys, what's up? Grand Commander here. I'm doing another little bit of reading through my book. So, we'll see how far we can get. But, I'm hoping we can make it through Season 1. Possibly. Very unsure about that, but we will try. Thanks, lol. Nice book. Thanks. Alright. Let's go. I'll start a couple paragraphs back, just like I usually do. Was I able to pass through time in the wall of dimensions? What is time? Anger rushed into me. How can my brother keep knowledge of the war from me? I shall bring darkness upon his soul. A portal opened around me. I vanished, reappearing on secondary Earth. Brother, how could you keep the war from me? I asked, angrily. You're alive, he exclaimed. Answer me, now, I yelled in response. Come with me, and I'll show you everything, he said calmly. How did he recognize me? I was still in my dandaged alien form. Dark alien form. I have that in parentheses. Elsewhere, on Mars, drones formed a base underground. Using the body of a large dragon-like creature called a Takolai, they built pillar supports and moved in. Their nostrils were the main ways in and out. They knew the Supreme Being created them. They also knew he would come for them, to find them and kill them. That wasn't my intent, though. I used DNA changing bombs to create them and alter their world so they could live. But they moved. All I wanted to do was take them home, or at least show them the way. Elsewhere, secondary Earth. Mikrat agreed to help me get to Mars and find the drones. He bought us a large Z fighter, held 8, with a 63 light-speed increaser. I brought the spacesuits and converted myself back to my original human form. I reunited with my sister as well. Nyoko, I said, as I stood looking at her beauty, a nice brunette with bright green eyes that sometimes turned ice blue. The paleness of her skin reflected sun onto my eyes. Brother, I heard you were fired from your job, she said, smirking. My eyes released all anger as my body collapsed to the floor. I felt happiness enter as the Grand Commander left my body. However, a part of him remained. I would forever be Equinox. I smirked back at her and said, the Talagon Empire will rise. She looked at me, threw my helmet at me. Mikrat looked confused by the entire encounter, as not one bit of it made sense. We entered our ship and took off. The new leather interior smelled fresh. The vent approached. The VENTs were the human Urchian universe and alien Talagon universe interact. I documented this place in several of my Encounters journals. Scene 2. Mars laid in front of us. Landing was more dangerous than we thought it would be. Storms approached from each side. We slept in the ship for 29 hours. The storm cleared. We walked out of the ship. I crouched down on the ground, about 2 parsecs, and 1 click from the ship. A horn of sorts laid on the ground before me. I kicked it hard, and a mouth opened near me. It was a mouth of a takolai. I had seen this in my vision. We climbed inside. We stood in a large, dark void. 12-inch spikes reached for us on each wall. I grabbed one on the right and pulled down. A spiral staircase opened next to us. From the opening, very little light appeared. We walked down the stairs. 18 drone guards waited for us at the bottom. We were there to do research. Did they know that? A drone brought a droke to speak as an interpreter. The droke had green skin with a teardrop head. Instead of a beak, like drones have, it had a normal mouth. He spoke loudly and said, "So, you came here to die. Odd choice, I must say. Visitors?" Mercure and I looked at each other. We knew what was going to come next. I turned into my true Dandelion form and threw my tail into 3 of the drunk guards. Mercure looked at me in horror. "What have you become?" he asked in a scared voice. He was more scared of me than the beasts we were fighting. He had a plasma sword attached to the side of him. He yanked it out of his sheath and went for the guard. The drone fell in half to the ground. A green jubilant woman stood behind a hollow screen. Her gray hair reflected the light. Mercure charged her. As he did this, she took out her sword and prepared to fight. He tried to cut her from the right. She parried, pulling his sword away, and tried stabbing through him. He dodged. She looked at him, studied his motions as he rushed in again. She then took out a golden-topped purple staff. Neither of you know what you are, or what you are up against. Then saying that, she was gone. Vanished. We nearly weren't powerful enough to escape. Mercure was badly injured. What if we had failed? Scene 3. Scene 3 is as Urge. One of the brothers. Secondary Earth. The city. Low heat. I sat in my office in the lowest level of Red Shadow's tower in Sector B. To my throne room. Now, said Red Shadow over my hollow projector. I walked briskly to his throne. I bowed at the top of the stairs, where his red and gray throne looked at me. He sat. I kneeled before him. Equinox, the Grand Commander has made contact with the family. We need to make a move, he told me. What kind of move? An execution? If so, who? I asked him. I'll lure him to Forbidden's house if we take out someone else high up in the family, Red Shadow instructed. I'll grab a white Joe bullet, my 96T rifle, and head to the Ovledge news studio. Once there, I will take out Trajecki. Then I will come back here for my next assignment, I told him. He and I have been against the family since the beginning. The secrets, the lies, the prophecies, and the thrones are too much to live with. We will take them down. The only known way to kill a family member is with a white trope bullet. I got into my Class 3 human fighter and took off. Scene 4. As Equinox, on Death Planet. Almost dying, Picard and I needed more fighting experience before we could take on the rest of the drone armies and the Green Jubilant Woman. Therefore, we head to Death Planet for the knife competition. This competition forces players to face off in a dangerous arena, proving strength over each enemy. We're here, Picard said. He lowered the entrance ramp, and I chained our ship down. We couldn't park close to the arena, so we had a lot of walking ahead of us. After passing nearly 60 casinos and 30 small cantinas, we arrived at the competitors. At the competitors' entrance. We signed in and took a seat in the lobby. The only weapons allowed were Vasco's daggers, lined with orange trope. These are used as stun weapons. 6 Involuan guards walked us into the arena. 9 octagonal platforms raised through the arena, each at different heights. We were dropped to the bottom. The darkness filled the room. I was still in my Dan Gillian form. Not a single life form recognized me or my form. Picard and I made our way to the top of 2 pedestals. Unfortunately, we were on the shortest 2. My ears twitched as I quickly sliced someone's throat with my blade. Anger ran through my veins, and so did adrenaline. The Grand Commander came back into my body. This time, he took over completely. I was gone. When my anger left my body, I came to. Picard was hanging off the pillar. I tried to help him up with my alien hands. I got him up. When he slipped again, I reached out to help him, and accidentally stabbed him in the back with my nail. Wait. Where did it go? I watched him fall with my bloody fingernail in his back. He turned yellow as he fell. Scene 5. I waited in his hospital room until he woke up. Today was his 11th day, still in his coma. I finally slept in a chair next to his bed. Picard woke up in a panicked state. He ripped out his IVs and left his room through the window. I woke up when the window shattered. My brother was gone. What the hell was he thinking? I knew using my black activity, the teleporting powers, would get his attention and cause him to yield. I appeared in front of him. He halted in front of me. The hell, Jack? You scared the out of me, McCut said. Good. That was the point. I said back to him. How are you feeling? Great. Feel like a new me, he said. Glad to hear. Glad to hear. Need to ride back to Earth? Yeah, but secondary Earth. You know what I mean? Scene 6. Trajeki's point of view. Asking. So, I was just called on to the newscast to talk about the videos released of a Grand Commander active on Umbercon. Walking to my chair, I noticed that I sat in front of a window. The window had a great view of the big city. As I sat down, the Inverloan woman, the newscaster, introduced me to the viewing audience. Scene 7. At Forbidden's house. Trajeki? What is this video of exactly? The news anchor on TV said. We, the family, believe this to be a Grand Commander, Equinox. He was a god that was exiled for treason against Forto. He's the god of chaos, war, and peace, and believes in the rule of 24 hours, or equal nights, Trajeki said. Forbidden got up and walked into the kitchen. Nothing happened. Trajeki was executed and was on his way off stage. The window shattered behind him, and he collapsed. Turning white, he told the woman he would be back. Forbidden ran to the TV. He had no idea what had happened. Act 4, Scene 1, as Forbidden, going to Forbidden's house. Life, honey, I started. Hold on, I'll reread that. Life, honey, I started. Should I call the kids for a family meeting and finally tell them about Urgent Red Shadow? You insane? She began. That's when they'll strike next. We can't bring everyone here. Oh, that's right. I didn't think of that. That would have been so stupid. Scene 3. Scene 3. I think we missed a page here. Yeah, we did. That would have been so stupid of me to do. What I didn't know was that the first part of the conversation was sent to the kids. Someone recorded us and sent it out. There's probably Urge or Red Shadow. Of course. Scene 2. At Equinox. The family meeting is 1 week, and I'm not yet ready to go. The childhood house brings me pain and suffering. I need a drink. Osgen, lower levels. I walked into the bar slowly. I then sat down, looked at the beautiful human redhead, and said, "One blood vignette she on the rocks. And your name?" She blinked intensely. Her eyelids were coated in blue and green. This indicated she was a light alien. Also known as Panarincillion. Panarincillion. I always had an A in there. Panarincillion. I was in human form as well. After all this time, you forgot who I was. My name is Heather. I finished. I fell out of my chair and rushed her in the back of the bar. I hugged her for minutes. How are you back? I asked. I was rebirthed as light, alien, when you opened the Talangan gene. She retorted. My mouth was agape at the news. I was also told to work here on this day, at this time, she finished. By whom? It doesn't matter, she answered. Will you come with me, Heather? To the edges of time and to the extent of the river of the cosmos? I asked. Of course. Just know that I'm not the exact person I was before, she said. Also, I have another hour of my shift, so I should probably stay for the end of that. I laughed. And then she jumped into her penicillin form. Me neither, I said, as I jumped into my Jillian form. Oh no, there is an A in penicillin. Oh. We laughed and left to go to secondary Earth. Scene 3. Esmacot. I walked to my holophone. When I answered, a beautiful woman, green in color, looked into my eyes. I've heard about your paper on redistributing matter. I need help on my universal and planetary beams, she said. When do I start? Where do I go? What is your name? I asked. I am Jaya Latif, your cousin. I'm on Beigel. And you start the day after you get to Menthrudal, she said. Menthrudal, the city of purple? With the lake of 1,000 suns? I asked. Yes, Mikot. See you soon, she said as she hung up. How did she know my name? Oh, that's right. She called me. I packed all of my gear and equipment. I took off towards Beigel. Was she the woman who exiled my brother? Probably. Scene 4. Falling in love. I landed. I looked out of my small fighter and saw the weirdest mountain in the middle of the city. Mikot, you finally made it, she said. Yep. You wouldn't believe the, traffic, I said, pretty convinced that she wouldn't buy it as I traveled through space. She looked at me and smiled. I can work on that coding from my room. You are more than welcome to come in any time, I said, excited to finally meet her. Even if you didn't invite me in, I would still go in. I am the queen, after all, she retorted in a semi-sarcastic way. She winked at me and gestured for me to follow her. I was telling her about the pulmonary magnetism of electrons and molecules when she turned to me. When she turned to me, she lunged, not slowly or discreet at all, and kissed me. I backed away until now my lips had been virgin. What? Why? I asked, confused. I've been in love with you, she said confidently. We just met, I said, still stunned by what had just happened. Oh, come on. You know you like me too. A little bit of a crush, she said. How do you know? I asked. I saw my posters in your bedroom walls when I called you last, she said in a condescending tone. Being new to all of this, I grabbed her and went in for another kiss. As our lips touched, I pushed her away. "The hell?" she yelled. "I'm sorry, I can't be with you. I can only be with people from the family," I said reluctantly. "Oh, but I am. I'm the daughter of Urge. Like I said on the phone, I'm your cousin," she said happily. I pulled her into me. We kissed for several minutes. Our hands wandered. Scene 5. Oh boy. Yeah, part of the, before I get to scene 5, part of the rule for the family members is that they have to fall in love with other family members and have kids, as many as they can have. Because that is the only way to spread their genes. And most kids don't make it either. Up until they hit about 60 years old, they're at risk of dying. Huge risk. And that's only for the family members. Is they have a genetic disposition that, like a genetic disease, basically, that only they have. And I mean, about one kid makes it out of every 8,000. But they have 10,000 at a time. 10,500, something like that. So, there's some backstory on that. And there's some family members like a Red Shadow, Equinox, that don't believe in that rule. That will be in the final draft of this book. That I'll get into some of that. Alright, scene 5. Equinox's point of view. I landed in a parking structure in floating city H5. Cinema caught. "Who's this with you, Equinox?" he asked, abiding by my new name change. I held up my hand. "This is my wife, Pajun. She's Heather in human form," I said excitedly. "Good for you, brother. This is Trilativ, my fiancé," he said as he raised his hand to show me the beautiful ring. Mala stayed in my ship. "We went down to the surface to see my father." "Our father," he answered the door. "Oh, my children," he said. Come in, he finished. We all walked in. "Trya, welcome home," he said. "Heather, what the hell are you doing here?" he asked angrily. "I'm married to your son, Equinox," she retorted. "But you're not a member of the family," he said shortly. "I'm aware, father. Forgive me," I said to him. "Fine. Sit down, he said. "So, we all did." As he sat, the window behind him shattered. He turned completely white, then fell forward. A man in orange laid on the roof and back of Forbidden's, in his hands a sniper rifle. A shadowy figure with a red cape waited in a ship next to that house. I morphed into my Dandelion form. I snapped the engine, and it imploded. I watched the red shadowy figure fall to the ground. "Surrender," I said. "Never," Red Shadow said. He lunged at me with a plasma sword in hand. When he got close, I pulled him closer and pierced his heart with my nails. He gasped and leapt to a nearby orange ship. It was Urge's. They killed my father. Scene 6. Equinox's point of view. Forbidden's funeral. People stood on both sides of Groveland Highway to watch the casket go down the street. Psst, Equinox. Why didn't you invite me to the wedding? McCart asked. I called, but you didn't pick up. I started. Remember you texted me and said, can't talk right now, we're getting... I asked finally. Oh, yeah, he said. Forbidden's casket finally rounded the corner towards corporate funding. Alright, time for food, said Heather and I at the same time. We looked at each other. And I smiled, feeling genuinely happy again. The crowd stood before Forbidden's throne. A holographic Forbidden stood and said, This is my son, Mikrat. He will forever be the king of secondary Earth. Follow his rule like it is my own. Take a seat, son. I was furious that the throne went to him. I'd get my revenge on him and father. I stormed off. Act 5, Scene 1, Osgen as Equinox. I landed on the smoke planet, Osgen. I went inside a nearby abandoned ore shaft. A creature looked at me. Any weapons? It asked. I am a weapon, I yelled as I pushed the small creature over. It shook with fear. Below sat a crazy creature, an old Osgenian who apparently memorized the book and the lost table. He was the smartest creature in all the universe. We simply call him the Wise One. Then, I blacked out. 24 days later, but June was still in the ship waiting. I don't remember what had happened. All I know is that I am no longer angry. Scene 2. I was receiving a call from Mikrat. Bro, what's up? I asked. Come to Beigel, Tinchada, to city. I'm getting married, he said, as he got disconnected. Calls don't usually last from Beigel to Osgen. Elsewhere, Mars, an entire fleet of reflective freighters was preparing for battle. They were basically invisible, except to light aliens. Elsewhere, on Beigel, my fleet arrived above the planet. I noticed something strange on the control panels. There was a drone fleet feet away. A missile hit a landing bay. A ripple shot through space, and Mikrat heard it from below. As the wedding ring landed on her finger, he took off toward his ship. My brother's up there, he said to Trya. I have to go. He landed in the landing bay, below the bridge of my ship. As his fighter's landing gear sat on the floor, a missile was launched from the drone ship next to us. He could see the drone fleet clear as day. The missile struck the bridge, tearing it to shreds. He ran up the large staircase. I laid there, dying. He held me in his arms. He then dragged me to his fighter and returned to his Tarlangon light alien form. He was at last one with his true self. He was powerful now. He took me to a hospital. Scene 3. Equinox's point of view. Mikrat's point of view. And this is called Equinox Reborn. I sat next to the bed, waiting for my brother to become conscious again. Our father, forbidden, walked through the door to the room. Father, I asked. Shh, I need to talk to you outside, he said. We walked outside quietly. I was going to ask how we got here, but it never got further than a thought. You know the Grand Commander that bombed all those planets? He asked. Yeah, why? I started. Did we find him? I finished. Yes. He's in a coma. In that room. He pointed to Equinox's room. We rushed in. He was gone. And that, my friends, will be the end of Season 1. Hope you guys enjoyed. During my next live stream, which is going to take place in about 10-ish minutes here, maybe 15, 20, something like that, within the next half hour. Should have just said that at the beginning. So by 10:10, my next stream will start. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like, subscribe, and make sure to share it across your friends, as I'm sure a lot of people would like this. I think that's all. Thank you guys for listening, and I'll see you guys next time, or in a couple minutes here. Bye.